Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Letters of Intent, the podcast for deal makers and risk takers. Today, I'm joined by the founder of our law firm, the founder of Carbon Law Group, Pankaj Raval, and we're going to talk about an initiative that he's launching today with the firm. Pankaj, welcome.
Hey, Sahil, it's great to be here again. I'm excited. About 50 podcasts deep here. Been a lot of fun. And yeah, it's very exciting today. We've got a new initiative we're launching.
Absolutely. And this is the perfect platform. The Letters of Intent podcast is the perfect platform to launch this specific initiative, which is called 100 to 100. And this refers to getting 100 entrepreneurs, founders, businesses to $100 million. Can you tell us where this idea came from and what does 100 to 100 mean to you?
Yeah, Sahil, we've been thinking about a lot. How do we get into the front of these clients who are kind of our ideal clients who we want to work with and who we want to see scale? And we're seeing a lot of traction with these clients are usually valued at between, 1 and 10 million, but we're really trying to scale, get to that next level. And that's where we find they really need our expertise as lawyers. So I thought, what if we can actually make the initiative and just make it really clear and simple for all the potential clients out there? We can help you scale from whether it's 1 million or 10 million to 100 million. And that could be 100 million exit. That could be 100 million valuation. That could be 100 million in revenue. It really depends on what you're looking for, but we want to make sure that you have the legal backbone and legal backing to make the right decisions, eliminate risk, and get to that 100 million.
So, most law firms are celebrating when the client signs the engagement agreement. When do you celebrate for your clients?
Honestly, I celebrate at every major milestone that they can reach on their way to this $100 million goal. So we're gonna celebrate the little wins, but also the big wins. Signing up a client is table stakes for me. That doesn't mean anything because that's just an opportunity to kind of really show what we're worth. And my goal is to prove myself, to prove my value to the client every day. And that's what we do with Carbon Law Group. Every day, every Monday, we have these meetings, and that's what we talk about. How do we prove our value? How do we prove our worth to these clients? And how do we strive to deliver more than they expect and go beyond what we even say we're going to do to deliver the very best client experience for them and also see their companies grow and thrive.
So, in your years of practicing law, were there some moments that made you inspired to launch this initiative? Have you seen certain legal barriers to companies achieving that $100 million mark?
Yeah, early on in my career, we worked with a lot of startups, a lot of early stage founders, but we found that they didn't have the legal infrastructure to really scale. And now working with larger companies, small, medium-sized businesses, these SMBs, we see, okay, these guys are actually really ready to leverage the power of a legal department, legal lawyers to really scale. And that's where we said, okay, this is where our real X factor is in this space where we are now helping these kind of growing businesses reach escape velocity, as it's called in Silicon Valley. We really want to see these clients grow and thrive and make sure that they don't run into legal roadblocks along the way, because those roadblocks that they don't expect because of a bad contract or because of a bad deal could really trip them up and cause them to miss that goal, which is what we don't want to happen, which is why we take it so personally to see these clients thrive and reach these goals.
So, we've talked about that there are three definitions of this 100 to 100 million: revenue, valuation, and exit. How do those three paths differ? And what makes these three categories important to you?
Yeah, so we kept this $100 million goal a little bit vague because it could manifest in a few different ways for clients. And it really depends on the type of business you are. Maybe you're trying to reach 100 million MRR or ARR, right? 100 million ARR breaks down to a certain amount of money per month, per quarter. So we're going to say, okay, how do we help you guys get there? How do you scale your subscription business? Let's say, okay, but now what if your business you're trying to sell? Maybe you're a hotel that we're working with, and how do we help you sell for this large dollar amount? Where are the opportunities? Now we've seen hotels being sold to data centers and things like that. How can we help clients find more value in the market? And we've been instrumental in that for our clients. So, how do we help you sell for a much larger amount to a more strategic partner that could potentially pay a lot more? And then there's the $100 million valuation. How can we help you raise at $100 million valuation? Maybe that could be $10 million for 10% of your company, right? That's a $100 million valuation. It could be $1 million for 1% of your company. So there's a lot of different ways to get there. And we're going to help you think about that critically. Who are the right partners? Who are the right investors? Who are the right customers for you? And how do we make sure you're protected in reaching that goal?
So, Pankaj, you've advised clients that have reached over $100 million in sales and who have reached these kinds of figures as far as exits and valuations. What do you find are the key recurring characteristics or patterns in those successful clients?
I mean, there's two critical elements I talk to clients about all the time, and those are contracts and controls. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. You got to have great contracts and you got to have great controls when you're scaling your business. Because if you don't have those two things and they go hand in hand, you're likely to trip up. So I talk about, okay, what do your master service agreements look like? What do your SOWs look like? What do your internal protocols and processes look like as you grow? Are you locking down your IP? Are you developing your IP? Are you registering your IP? Because as you grow in value, you want to make sure you develop all these different assets. You want to understand what your leases are, what your obligations are, what your liabilities are. So we can really help people think about those things strategically and how to leverage those to create the greatest value for their business.
And what kinds of founders or businesses are you specifically looking to work with through this initiative? Is there an ideal client profile for this group of 100 entrepreneurs?
Honestly, someone hungry to win and who's actually coachable and who can listen and who's interested in hearing our opinions. Because the reality is that we're not for everyone, and that's okay. I'm not trying to be for everyone. We're trying to be for those people who value the advisor, the coach, the lawyer who can guide them and think strategically about their business. Because the reality is founders, when focused on their business, don't see the blind spots. You're usually seeing, all the opportunity, but you're not looking for risk. As humans, that's natural. But lawyers, unfortunately, or for better or for worse, we are looking for risk. So that's how our brains are broken in a certain way. But also, they're very valuable because we see things and we look for things that a lot of people don't want to look for and don't optimize for when building a business. And those are things that can actually really cause problems for your business as you grow. So when it comes to those ideal clients, it's really people who are ready to build and grow and who have an open mind about what they're trying to do. It's not those clients who think, oh, I have ChatGPT, I have a Claude, that's what I need. Why don't you just look at this and implement this? Honestly, if you have ChatGPT and you feel like that's your best lawyer, good luck. But the reality is there's a lot more that goes into it than just what the AI can tell you.
Well, and that's a great point. How do you think AI will play a role in our ability to advise these clients? So, Bungus, that's a great point. And AI is a big topic, and a lot of clients are wondering where's the line between AI and good counsel. So, how do you incorporate AI in your practice of law?
I lean on it heavily. I would be remiss to tell you that, hey, I don't think it's an issue. I don't think it's relevant. AI is just a fad. It is not. It is here to stay. And I've recognized that from the very beginning. I was one of the early adopters of ChatGPT when it first came out. And I've been using it every day pretty much since to enhance my practice. And that's what it is. It's a tool to enhance people's practice, but you have to know the questions to ask and how to interpret the data it's giving you. So it can give you great answers, but what does that mean in the context of your deal and in the context of actually pushing it forward, in the context of the humans on the other side? Because everyone has different personalities and everyone has different desires and wants, and you still got to understand all that. There's a lot of nuance still here that you need to understand. But I'm going to tell you straight up that we use it to provide the value of 10 lawyers with two. And that's huge value that a lot of these big firms are not providing, that we're providing it to our clients. And I'll tell you, they love it. They love getting this caliber of work, this value from two lawyers where they're not spending. I've seen clients send me bills from big law firms where there's four lawyers on the call and they're being billed between $700 and $1,500 an hour. We're not going to do that here. We're going to leverage all the tools we have to give our clients the very best work product at the highest level, and we can go toe to toe with any big firm. And we've had it, we've done it in the past, and we're ready to do it in the future to get our clients the best outcomes possible.
Absolutely. I know the firm is also signed up with Lexis AI and the Protege system. And that gives us, as attorneys that work with Carbon Law Group, tremendous access in terms of case law, statutes, best practices. It's a tremendous resource. And I think it gives us an edge over other law firms is the fact that we have these powerful subscriptions that are also within the code of professional ethics. And that gives us a real edge when it comes to advising our clients.
So, Sahil, when we talk about tools too, it's also important for people to know that like we are investing thousands and thousands of dollars in essentially R&D, to figure out how to leverage these tools in a better way for our firm. And that's how I see it. These are research and development expenses for the benefit of our clients. And they need to know that we are investing heavily to leverage the best tools, to test the best tools, to see what's best for them, and to make sure that their information is kept private and also they're getting the best answers possible. So that's why we're testing with Lexis. And we're not sponsored by anyone, but if anyone does want to sponsor us, Lexis, Anthropic, you guys got a lot of money. We are open to that. But we're using Claude, we're using using Lexis, and we're using a variety of them in combination. And also one of our clients, I'm sure they don't mind me saying, Proppeteer.ai. If you guys are listening and looking for an amazing tool to give you the best prompts possible, Proppeteer.ai. Use, I think, Proppeteer 3M for a 3-month trial. It's a fantastic tool, and we've been leveraging it to get exceptional answers and exceptional results for our clients.
Pankaj, talking about AI, the firm has invested heavily in AI tools and subscriptions. Can you talk about how that will help us achieve this 100 to 100 initiative?
Absolutely. So it's going to allow us to help clients in a much more economically and efficient way. So what would take 10 lawyers maybe 3 years ago, we can do with 2 to 3. All right. We have a team of 3 lawyers, you, me, an IP specialist, and also a paralegal and a team of about 5 or 6. With that, we've been able to help these clients scale massively, multi-million-dollar deals. And it's because we leverage technology to provide the very best work product for our clients. It is bar none. And we think critically about these issues. Clients are very happy because we still put in the time, we still put in the work. It's not like we type something in a computer and just sit back and have iced tea. We are still working, we're still thinking, we're using that time to actually think deeply and critically about how to move these deals forward. I'm on calls with opposing counsel, opposing parties all the time, trying to push things forward. But now I have in my tool chest much more information, much more data to leverage when I'm having those conversations, which is huge.
Yeah, as an attorney for Carbon Law Group, I think this is one of the points I'm most proud of when it comes to our firm is that Carbon is an early adopter of technology and research and development. And I think we're one of the few firms that's willing to actually invest real money in the subscriptions that are required to give our clients the optimal service. And I think our clients benefit from that in the sense that our research is more comprehensive. And in terms of efficiencies, economic efficiencies, we're much more economically efficient because, like you said, we don't have 5 junior associates on a call taking redundant notes. We have a few attorneys who are leveraging tools to give our clients the maximum value for the appropriate price.
We have AI note takers, of course, with
Yeah.
consent, but that helps summarize calls and send clients notes afterwards. This is time we don't have to spend sending these notes out with a recap email oftentimes to the client. Yeah, sure, we'll review it, analyze it a little bit, clean it up, but then it reduces the time and spend for our clients, which they all love. And we're still providing you with excellent service, but at a fraction of what these larger firms would cost. But you and I, you've come from big firms. We've worked, done this, combined for 25 years. We've been doing this for a long time, so we can bring those skills, expertise, and insights to helping these clients grow. And also important to note, I think, Sahil, that we don't mention a lot, but you and I are both entrepreneurs, right? You and I are
Yes,
both
that's right.
experience with building businesses and seeing businesses grow and thrive, and also the challenges of building a business. So we know the challenges that our clients face. So we're not giving clients advice from a vacuum. We know the realities of what works, what doesn't, and can advise them accordingly. Something that AI can't always do, and also other lawyers can't always do.
Yeah, I think that is one thing our clients really benefit from is our real world experience. It's not just an academic exercise for us. We know what it feels like to manage employees. We know what it feels like to set targets and set sales targets and have to come up with the money to meet your expenses every month while chasing that big exit. And so I think we are able to uniquely step into the shoes of a lot of our clients and give them advice and actually talk them through problems and not just talk at them. And on that note, Pankaj, I wanted to ask, what does this mean for you as the founder of Carbon Law Group on a personal level? What would it mean for you to achieve 100 to 100, to get 100 of our clients to that $100 million mark?
I think it would be incredible. You and I both do this because we love to serve, we love to help people. And I think, to see businesses grow. I became a lawyer early on because I practiced a lot of different areas of law. And I realized that business law resonated with me the most because I got to, one, be an entrepreneur, but also see businesses grow and thrive and hire people. And I feel like if you can employ people in this economy and give people jobs and allow them to put food on their table, I mean, it's an amazing feeling and something I'm grateful for every day. Something I'm lucky I get to do. Something we get to build together and work with great people like you and Crystal and the rest of the team to really help others. And I think we want service to be the core of our business, and I think we're going to continue to do that and do it on a much greater level. And I think we're just thinking bigger now. We've been doing it a lot for a lot of smaller clients, but now we're going to be focusing on these bigger clients and seeing how that we can help them really scale to this next level.
So, if someone is listening right now and they want to become one of the 100 that achieves $100 million this year through Carbon Law Group. How does someone become one of the 100?
I think reach out. It's easy to get a hold of us. Reach out at admin at Carbon LG, legal at Carbon LG. You can give us a call at 323-543. You can find us online. Just Google Carbon Law Group, or you can Google my name, your name will come up, and then reach out. Let's set up a call. We have a free discovery call to understand a little bit more about your needs and your business. I'll tell you that not every business is the right fit. We're looking for the people who are the right fit. If you feel you are, and this is something that is intriguing to you and you'd like to work with us, we'd love to chat, and we'd love to see if we can, in fact, work together and help you achieve your dreams.
Well, Pankaj, thank you so much for talking a little bit about the initiative. This is very exciting for all the attorneys at the firm. We're really excited to serve our clients and bring them to that level. We want to thank you for your vision and your leadership on this. And we're really excited to let our clients know that this is an initiative that we take very seriously, and we want you to be a part of this community. So be sure to reach out and join us as we do what we can to encourage the next generation of deal makers and risk takers.
Thanks.
For all of you who've joined us this time on the latest episode of Letters of Intent, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next week.
Have a great one. Thank you.